Welcome back.
Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man?
Welcome into the DML Network, and we are back with episode 34 of The Franchise. And it's your boy Embro, the new voice of this iconic show here in the Dynasty. Now, you all know it's been a hot minute since we were able to get one of these shows put out there just because of all the nonsense EA did last cycle. Madden 23 was horrible. We had league restarts. We had the sim drafts. I mean, it was just crazy off the jump. But this is Madden 24, and we are back at it. We just finished our Season 1 draft, and you know what time it is. Today's episode is jam-packed with a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about if you had a good pick, a trash pick. We got a couple of awards that you know we love to hand out. But you guys know here in the Dynasty, we don't do shows solo. And I got a few of my homies on here that love to chop it up with me every single time I get on the mic. And the first one is the homie Taz, the owner of them Cincinnati Bengals. What's up, big dog?
What's going on, Embro? What's happening, fellas? We back at it. It's about time to miss doing all this. So let's get back to the grind.
Yes, sir. I know them Bengals had a pretty good draft. How do you feel about them Bengals draft class this year?
We didn't have a lot of picks, but I think we got quality picks with what we did have. But I don't know. We played week 1 against the Washington Commanders, and oh my God, underrated. We'll get to his picks, but Jesus, we got our ass whooped. But moving on.
Yes, sir. My next guest is the homie from the NFC North rivalry up in the Windy City, the owner of them Chicago Bears. What's up, Bus?
What's going on, man? We in the building, man. We're ready to crank this bus up, get it going.
Now, this is going to be a great show because you and I put out the mock draft, so we're going to be able to see, did we get our picks right? Did they pick the right players? I mean, I think we did pretty good in the top 10 anyways, but yeah, it should be a fun show, man.
Gotcha.
And my last guest is the homie OG Chris Murray, the owner of them Seattle Seahawks. What's up, player?
What's going on? What's going on? Hate rookies. Let's break them down.
Man, I got to tell you what. I know you didn't get the draft. I know you weren't available, but what do you think about them Seattle Seahawks draft class?
Straight shit, man. CPU dropped the ball, but it is what it is. Thank God we got a good outside, good structure because, boy, we holding it together with some duct tape, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Well, we're going to go over that pick a little bit later, but let's get to it, fellas. With that number 1 overall pick, I don't think anybody was shocked at who was picking that number 1. You got Eric Yo and them Arizona Cardinals. I think he won one game this year, and he had a lot of places that he could have went with this pick. I know we mocked a couple of different players to go number 1, but I think I got it right off that mock draft. And Eric Yo went DT Mike Wharton at the University of Georgia. Yo, Ty, break down this pick that Eric Yo made at number 1.
Damn good pick. He was number 1 on my board. Mike Wharton, 6'1", 301 pounds, 22 years old, out of the University of Georgia. Those damn dogs, they keep putting out straight monsters on the D-line, and he's just continuing that tradition. He's going to Arizona. I don't know what he's going to do there, but he's a dog.
Oh, most definitely, man. I mean, we knew that the Cardinals need a defensive line, and he was hands down the number 1 defensive tackle on the board. I think he was pretty high for everybody, but based off of week 1's performance against the LA Rams, it didn't look like he made much of an impact. The Cardinals lost 52-10, which I don't think comes a shock to anybody. But, I mean, this kid right here has all the potential in the world of doing the same things that Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Devontae White, all them young Bulldogs coming out of that program can do. I mean, the kid has got 92 strength. I mean, he's got 77 power moves, 77 finesse. He needs to learn how to be able to disengage a little bit better, but I think this kid could be a really, really good player for the Cardinals. I don't know if he'll be a Hall of Fame type player just based off of who's the owner, but I definitely think that this is a great pick. Do you think, Taz, that this could potentially get the Cardinals out of that number one hole this upcoming season? Because we all know that Eric Yo probably going to be picking top 10, but do you think he can win more than one game this year after this pick?
I think he'll get some assistance with this pick. I mean, the kid had some production in week one. He got 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. But I mean, one player is not going to change the whole franchise around. You know, Eric was in my division last cycle. He needs to figure out offense and how to not throw interceptions. That's where he struggles. So when he figures that out, then I think he can start putting something together. But we'll see if he can get more than one win this season.
Yeah, man, I think it'd be hard-pressed for him to get more than one. He's playing in a crazy division with Andy Force and the Niners, OG and them Seahawks, and, you know, Styles with the up-and-coming Rams team. I definitely think it's going to be tough for him, you know, but I hope that Mike Wharton's career doesn't go to die there, and I hope that he can, you know, build him up to become an elite player in the DML. Now, let's move on to pick number 2, where we got them Brazilian Broncos led by Doug. Now, I know this pick was in big question. We kind of figured that Dub was going to go quarterback, but we weren't sure which quarterback. I had pegged him going one way, and I know, Bush, you had him pegged going another way, and he selected the athletic freak John Sykes out of LSU. You raved about this kid in our show here previously. Tell me about this pick, and what do you think it could do for them Broncos during this cycle?
Oh man, to be honest with you, man, I think John Sykes kind of looked over. I know when I was looking at the prospects, I seen him and I seen his tangibles, and I'm like, man, this cat right here gonna be good. I mean, he was already blessed by Joe Burrow to wear number 9 at LSU, so you know he had some potential. But the guy comes in at 6'3", 220 pounds, 22, rookie from LSU, 90 throw power, 78 deep, 84 mid, 84 short, 85 short. But the key to me is his speed. He has 90 speed and 91 acceleration. So not only can he throw,
Dangerous.
he can get out of the pocket and extend the plays. Now, he gonna have to extend the plays because he paranoid. So even the pressure in there, he gonna feel like it's there and he gonna run. But you know, he's down there with Dub. We all know Dub and those Broncos like to throw the ball, man. So I think John Sykes was a great pick for him. And hopefully he can get Dub some wins down there in Denver.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, when you see the kids, you know, all his attributes, I mean, he just jumps off the chart. To have a 90-speed quarterback with a 90 throw power, I mean, you can't get better than that. I gave him the comparison of Anthony Richardson, who got drafted by the Colts last year. I mean, just that everyone wants that athletic, mobile quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. My biggest concern was, you know, like you mentioned, he has that paranoid sense of pressure, and the Broncos' offensive line got weaker. They traded their top guard to the Seahawks before the draft. They cut their left tackle Garrett Bowles, so he definitely got weaker on the O-line. And so I'm worried that maybe he's going to rely too much on his legs and not on his arm, and he may end up getting hurt or not having the season that he thinks he's going to have. So let's go on to pick 3. We got pick 3 with the commish, Nasty New in them Atlanta Falcons. Now, we're about to get a run on defensive backs. And this pick was a shocker to me. I did not think that the Falcons were going to go here. But, man, he had one hell of a pick. The commish went cornerback Leonard Hurst out of the University of Oregon. Now, every draft has that one athletic player that you're like, man, he just blows up the combine. He just has everything you want, especially when it comes to Madden. And this was the kid. Do I think that he was the best cornerback coming out? No, I don't. But he had everything you dreamed of. And so I think right here he hit a home run with this pick. OG, talk to me about this incredible DB that the commish took.
Listen, man, it's rare that you can get a guy who's well balanced across the board. Height, speed. I was looking at this kid, man. He could play zone, he could play man. And where's the weakness at with this kid, man? Like, to be honest. And this is the number one thing that I love about it. He's only 22. All right. He's going into a division that's kinda, I'm not on a talent scale. It's not there. So this is a kid that could come in day one and literally playing against three, I say bottom of the pack users where he's going to eat. I mean, off of ITs, when we called in turnovers. So this is a kid, man, that Nuke struck gold with. And if y'all not familiar with the Atlanta Falcons and Nuke, he's one of them guys where back in the day, man, he had the dog, he had the dog pound over in Atlanta. It was like shiesty as hell on defense. So getting this guy, man, I know he was smiling from ear to ear. And then he's coming into a situation with a loaded secondary with Jesse Bates III. And then he still got Terrell Jr. there, who's on the other side with size and speed. So he struck gold with this one, man. Look, just know a season or two, we bring in the bank, man. We want this kid out of Seattle, man. We definitely want this kid in Seattle. We bring in the Brent truck.
I figured you'd like that pick, man. I mean, a fast DB that has OG written all over it. I would say the only weakness right now in this kid's game is his drip. When I look at this kid, yo, Nasty New, you gotta give the guy some swag, man. This dude's got a long jersey. Doesn't even have the swag that a DB like this would have. So I gotta tell you, man, you gotta go in there, make the player edit, make that dude look like a dirty bird, because this guy right here is one hell of a pick. Like OG said, man, when you are across AJ Terrell, you got a great safety in Jesse Bates. I mean, you now have a legitimate secondary, that can, hang with a lot of teams. We all know that, the Falcons play great against the run. Every season, they're one of the best run defenses. He always gets burned in the pass game. So you insert this kid in the starting lineup, man, it already makes you a way better team. This was one hell of a pick by the commish. And let's go to pick 4. Now, pick 4, like I said, we got a run on DBs. Now, the New York Giants, one of the Skills brothers, they go with cornerback Joey McDonald out of Mississippi State. Now, again, I don't think that he was the best corner in this draft, but he was one hell of a pick. Taz, talk to me about this kid from Mississippi State.
Man, it threw me for a loop when he made this pick. I figured he was going to go for one of the quarterbacks, because Danny Dimes don't drop dimes in New York, boy. Let me tell you. But
we call that guy Danny Pennies, man.
But Joey McDonald, great pick. Young kid, 21 years old, 6 foot, 209. 78 man coverage, 74 zone with a 72 press. Got really good speed, 92, 93 acceleration. He's smart. He can make plays. He's going to do very well in this defense because, I mean, that Giants defense is not horrible. You got big, sexy Dexy. You got Thibodeau. This kid is going to jump in there, make plays day one, and going to make some noise in the league.
I totally agree, man. I was shocked at this pick. I thought for sure he was going quarterback too, just because how bad Daniel Jones was this last year. The Giants were in a lot of games last year. I know OG played him early in the season, and they went all the way to the wire, man. And OG was able to pull away late, but it happened to him a lot. So I was shocked he went corner, but this kid right here is another great pick. He's 21 years old, and you pair him across from the rookie they took last year in Deontay Banks out of Maryland. Now, that kid can fly. He's got 95 speed. So now you got 2 corners that got 92 plus speed who are young that you can build off of, because in the division, you got the high-powered Eagles. You got the monstrous Dallas Cowboys that everyone's got to deal with, and CeeDee Lamb and them boys out there. And then you got to be able to cover McLaurin and them kids, that out in Washington. So you got to build on defense. I don't think it was a bad pick. I really think he hit a great pick right here. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if he's hitting Dev or not. But no, he's normal Dev. Normal Dev. So hopefully he gets a scenario to build that kid. But I definitely think he struck gold with this pick. Not a bad pick at all. Let's move to pick 5. The other skill brother. We're not shocked that they're both picking in the top 5. They are perennial top 5, users in this league. Shout out to both you guys. But man, the Pittsburgh Steelers took the 3rd straight cornerback off the board. And to me, this was the best cornerback coming out this draft. And it's Martin Clayton out of the University of California. Bus, talk to me about this kid.
Man, Martin Clayton, great cornerback, man. I think we spoke about him one time before. Yeah, he comes in as a rookie. He's a young rookie too, 21, 5'11", 184, out of Cal. Rookies come in and make mistakes, but he's gonna have some help back there in the secondary with Mika Fitzpatrick kind of dictating and helping him on the way. But when you come in at 94 speed, 90 excel, 74 press, he can tackle, 72 catching. But the attribute that really stands out to me is, man, he's an 87 zone. Like, as a rookie, 80 overall. I think this was a great pick for the Skillian, whichever one of them Skillian brothers. I just thought Skillian. Oh, Big Homie.
Yeah.
I get them mixed up, man. But yeah, great pick for Big Homie. I think they were sharing the same draft room, man, because one picked one corner and the other one took the other corner. So they in here, they in cahoots picking the same position for their teams, man. But great pick.
Well, I think this was one that we got right in the mock draft show. I think we pegged him taking this specific player. I did not think that the other 2 corners were going to leapfrog him. So for him to get this quality of a player at pick 5, I mean, it's a home run hit. I mean, you think he's, like you said, he's 21 hidden Dev. I'm banking on he's probably superstar Dev. So, again, to see a rookie with 87 zone coverage, you never see that on this game. Now, he struggles in man coverage, but we know that in Pittsburgh, they don't play a lot of man coverage. So I think he's going to excel in that defense. And with Minka and them back there to be able to, lead, kind of grow him into that role. I mean, he's got 2 great young corners. You got Joey Porter Jr. Now this kid, I mean, again, in that division, you got expert in the Cleveland Browns. You got Taz with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And then you got the Super Bowl champs in the Ravens. I mean, you have a lot of great talent in the division. So he had to go defense. I think this was a hell of a pick for him. And hey, man, it's the second one we've gotten right so far. So let's keep it trucking, man. Moving on to pick 6. Now, this user never picks in the top 10. We all know that this was, I'm not sure if he was tanking or what was the case, but man, SJ and them Buffalo Bills were picking at number 6. And I think he was targeting one of these corners. I don't think that he was anticipating a couple of them corners going off the board, but he takes one hell of a player in defensive end, Sean Webb at the University of Texas. Now, I know in our mock draft show, we compared him to Brian Arakpo. He's got a lot of the same traits and qualities as that kid. OG, what do you think of this pick, him going to the Buffalo Bills?
All right, and first off, I want to say Taz. I said Taz. SJ definitely was just hurt with that tank, but it is what it is, man. The kid is good, but I feel like, to be honest, SJ could have went offense with this pick, and I'm gonna get on who he should have took later on in the show. But this is a kid who could potentially replace Von Miller. Get that experience, get that booming going. And he already got the 99 jersey with the one little orange. He got some swag on it. With the little cross, eye paint. But I like this kid. Good upsize, good speed. Like I said, Von Miller is going to play a major part in how far this kid goes. Because, even though Von Miller is still up there in the age, he still can contribute. And you got to make sure that your ID and the mic on him. So this kid should get some one-on-one opportunities, and let's just see what he do from it. But, SJ definitely, he got a solid one, man. But let's see if that tank won't even be parked up this time, or it's going to be still out there in Buffalo, man. But solid pick.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of suspect on them Buffalo Bills, man. They have a loaded roster, and to watch him picking at 6, I mean, think about it. He was a couple of losses away from picking higher than his fam and the Skill brothers, man. I mean, imagine being that bad.
Man, that's crazy, yo.
Could you
They got
imagine
something
that
going on, man.
if he were to finish higher than that? I mean, man, they would have never let him live that down. But, man, I tell you what, this kid is really, really good. You know, he was one of the best, if not the best defensive end coming out in this class, and a loaded defensive line class. And like you touched on, man, Von Miller is getting up there in age. You know, Von Miller is that veteran guy and is still an elite player. But I think if he can come in, learn from Von, be able to get those reps early, I think you have to play this kid. I'm pretty sure that SJ moved Von Miller back to outside linebacker to let this kid start on defense. So you got a good defensive line, but, man, you know, you got to let the kid play. And I definitely think this upcoming season, well, we're hoping anyways, that SJ looks a little bit better than we did last season. But, you know, when you're playing against tight work and the Miami Dolphins and 9-9 and those Patriots, and you got AJ, who actually won that division with the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a heavy hitter division. I mean, that was our number 1 ranked, you know, division before the cycle kicked off. And so, you know, shockingly, SJ finished last in this far. So hopefully Webb can come in there and make that early impact. I definitely agree, OG, that he could have went somewhere else, but you can never go wrong with an elite. And hey, man, he may have watched that show and got the insight of how great this kid is, and maybe took him just a little bit earlier than maybe he thought he would have taken him. But, you know, I definitely think it's a good pick, and hopefully he won't go to die in Buffalo, and he'll become something, and hopefully get SJ out of the bottom part of that division. So before we get to our next pick, because this next pick it was one of the best picks in our draft, we have a special award to pass out to this user. Noop, go ahead and roll that
Big
tape.
dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no, you big dummy.
So our Big Dummy Award goes to no other than the one and only Flair. You know, we gave this award out to this guy because I swear to you, every single cycle, he is messing up his cap, going over the cap penalty, doing something that he knows he shouldn't do. And before the draft, he went over the cap penalty, and he had to lose not one but 2 players in Derrick Henry and Jeffrey Simmons, 2 elite players on both sides of the ball. Now,
I pause you for a second, man. If y'all ain't have a chance to make the services, man, just know that the DML is still taking donations for Flair's funeral. It's been tough, but you know we still trucking on, man. Still trucking on. RP the GOAT, man. Go my fault. I had to put it out there.
no, you're good, man. I mean, Flair's taking L's in the chat, and now he's taking L's in the game. I mean, it's one thing after another, man. But when you see last cycle, he did the same thing when he lost Jonathan Taylor off, I think, around the same time. He went over the cap penalty and had to let JT go. So, I mean, you know, Flair, I don't know if you're just not reading, if you ain't paying attention, but come on, man. Like, again, this is like the 3rd time you won this award, man. I mean, I don't understand what it's going to take for dudes to read the rules, pay attention to what they're doing. I'm pretty sure Bus posted in the chat like, yo, follow these rules, give it a reminder. And these dudes still didn't listen, man. So, you know, Flair, you definitely deserve this award. It sucks to see that you lost 2 elite players. Hopefully you can bounce back from it and maybe, you know, come back and get your vengeance for OG the next time y'all play. But let's get to this pick, fellas. At pick 7, I think this was the best pick in this draft, and Flair and them Titans took the wide receiver from North Carolina State, Reggie Ringer. Now, we had 2 really, really good receivers coming out. I thought he was the 1B to the other guy, but man, was I wrong. Taz, talk to me about this freak of an athlete in Reggie Ringer.
Bro, Is he the son of Megatron? Because dude coming in 6'4", 219. He's only 22 years old. 82 physical receiver. Like straight off the rip, 92 speed, 90 excel. You look at his ratings, and it's pretty much just green across the board. The biggest one that stands out is he already has 99 spectacular catch. I mean, that along with 90 agility and 91 jumping, bro, who's stopping this kid? 6'4"? That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, Flair, he lost Derrick Henry. That's a big loss. But it's a lot easier to replace that running back. And then he scores with this pick, getting Reggie Ringer.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, he took the unicorn of the draft, man. I mean, to come out the gate 82 overall and you already have 99 spec catch. I mean, at 6'4", I mean, that's jump ball all day. And on top of it, he's got 92 speed. I'm pretty sure that, Bust and I in the mock draft show talked about this kid and the other guy that they were like Calvin Johnson 2.0. I mean, Flair cut DeAndre Hopkins after the season. He needed some money, and that also didn't help him go over the cap penalty. Shout out again to Flair. But this was a home run pick. I don't know if I've ever seen a rookie come out of the box this built already. I mean, it was just crazy to see that he was ready-made out the jump. I mean, it was just crazy to see this pick. Now, he goes to a team that doesn't know how to pass the ball. He traded Malik Willis to the Patriots. He's banking on Will Levis on being that guy. Do you think that this kid is going to flourish in this offense with Will Levis as the QB, or is his career already gone down the gutter being in Tennessee?
That's a very good question. Is Will Levis the guy? Is he the true franchise QB? Right now, I say probably not. I mean, his ratings look great, but he's normal development, and at the same time, we're talking about Flair. What is Flair going to do? Is he going to force the pass and throw a lot of interceptions, or is he going to have a balanced offense to try to open up that pass? All we can do is wait and see.
I definitely think this guy can be a Hall of Fame candidate just because of the rating out the box. But I honestly don't think he's going to have one of those amazing DML careers just because Flair can't pass. And you traded the wrong quarterback. You should have traded Will Levis and kept Malik Willis. I think he banked on the wrong guy, but time will tell, man. So let's get to the next pick. Now, this pick that Chicago Bears made is not because they were really picking at 8. This was based off the real life trade between the Panthers and Bears, where the Bears essentially, Cosby'd the Panthers in order to get Bryce Young. So the Bus and the Bears were picking at 8. Shout out to C-Rob for having another horrible season for him to pick this high. But the Bears went linebacker DN Emmanuel Rogers out of Notre Dame. Now, I know we got Bus on here. Talk to me about the kid that you drafted. What do you think he's going to bring to Chicago this cycle?
Man, Emmanuel Rogers is going to bring some defensive presence to the Bears on that D-line that they were missing. Now, I hope the young fellows watching this show, man, I just want to make them understand that even though he wasn't the number one person on our board, and that was Sean Webb, he was the number 2 person on the board. So just understand, we wanted you just as much as we wanted Sean Webb. But during the preseason game, when the Bears played him at linebacker just to try him out, but his agility was just too off, man. His change of direction was too off. So we immediately knew we was going to move him to the DN. So I think Emmanuel Rogers is going to be good. 6'5", 259, 21 from Notre Dame. He already has like 77 finesse move, good speed, strength, but we have to work on his block shedding, man. Sometimes you let those offensive linemen get him stood up and get them hands inside of him, and he can't get off. So That's one thing we're gonna be working on. But as far as that, Emmanuel Rogers was a great pick for the Bears.
Oh, I totally agree, man. I mean, this was something that I actually mocked to you in the mock draft. I thought this kid, you bring him in, you put him on that D line. I thought he was more or less a defensive end and a linebacker just based off what I saw, in his, his scouting reports. So I think you plug him on the defensive end opposite of your newly acquired Kwity Paye. You also brought in Leonard Williams. You brought in Jeffrey Simmons. Shout out again to Flair for, letting him go. You pretty much changed the whole defensive line in one offseason. And
Crazy.
I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, the D-line was a weak spot for you season one, and now it's one of your strengths. And so they're not only young, but they're also really good. So I definitely think you got a great bookend combo. But you got to tell me, man, at defensive end, why is the kid wearing number 0?
Man, hey man, he just wanted to be different, man. So, I allowed him to wear number 0, but there's some stipulations in the contract that if he doesn't get at least 7 sacks, then he got to go to a double-digit number. So we're gonna see.
So that's the agreement. All right, so now we're going to keep a tally to see if he actually keeps up his end of the bargain. So, all right, fellas, let's move to pick number 9. The Arizona Cardinals had their second top 10 pick. This was a real live trade. I believe that they acquired from Houston in reference to that trade they made in the C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson deal that they did this past year. So he picks at number 9 for JB. Now, he went DT at the first spot. He could have went pretty much anywhere else on his roster. I mean, he has holes every single level on offense and defense. But this pick right here, I think, was a safe pick. I think it was a needed pick. OG, talk to me about Clyde Franklin, the massive right tackle out of the University of Washington.
First off, man, I'm just gonna be honest. You say you could have went anywhere. That dude needed to went straight defense. I'm just being honest, man. But you can't go wrong with a good offense of tackle that's young. One of them guys who's going to go into a system automatically day one starter. But I felt like with this pick, he should have went defense, man. The struggle right now in Arizona is defense. When you coming up, and I gotta say it, when you going up and you almost about to get 100 points dropped on your head, we easily could have put up 120. But it's Ariel, that's my guy.
I watched that game, man. You probably could have scored 150. Let's be real. I'm being
real. Like I took my foot off the gas, but I'm like, man, I don't need a new rule getting put into play. And that's my guy. I really like it's Ariel. That's really my guy. So I started running the ball. Like, come on. So what I'm saying on this pick, he should have went definitely straight D-line. Because that's where his struggle was at. That's where the door gets ripped off the hinges at when guys start grinding the pounding and running it down Arizona's throat. But as far as the pick, he didn't go wrong with it. He plugged in I feel like a guy who can uphold that right tackle position. But I just feel like he should have just went DT, man. There's nothing off the chart about this kid that made me go, wow, this was a solid top 10 pick. But I understand the pick, but he should have definitely went DT with this one because right now the struggles is in Arizona. And them jerseys, oh my God, please, they're so... Yeah, good pick, though. Good pick, Ariel. We're going to talk about that in the DM. Kid might be in Seattle in a couple seasons.
Yeah, man. I mean, to pick 10 and not even take the best offensive lineman was shocking to me. I mean, we're going to see a few picks on what the best offensive lineman looked like, but I mean, he could have went a lot of different ways. I thought he would go defensive again just because I watched all his division mates pass on him, run through him. I mean, OG, you don't run the ball, and I think you ran for 300 yards and like 5 touchdowns with Kenneth Walker. I mean, that should speak volumes to where his defense was at. I know he went DT in the first pick, but man, I totally agree. There were some great D linemen out there. He should have went D lineman again. And to go O-line and not pick the best one was kind of shocking to me. But let's not waste any more time on him. Let's move to pick 10 with them LA Rams taking quarterback Mario Marshall out of the University of Southern California. Taz, does this kid have it or does he not? Coming out of a school that puts out a lot of quarterbacks, but they don't really pan out in the league. Talk to me about him.
Man, so Styles out there in LA, he's gonna have problems all cycle long trying to rebuild this squad. And it didn't help him any, kind of missing the off season. But with saying that, making it back in time for the draft and grabbing this kid, man, that hats off, because this kid is a baller. Now he's a little older at 23, but 6'4", 227. He's coming out of that storied USC program, and he can ball. 95 throw power, 80 deep accuracy, 78 medium, and 81 short. He has an average sense of pressure, tight spiral, ideal decision maker. This kid is going to do very well out there with Styles in this on this squad. Now, with saying that, it's going to be up to Styles to make sure he has the O-line to protect the kid, and he has the weapons around him, to do something with all that talent. So only time will tell, but great pick. And I'm going to definitely be watching this kid.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm glad you touched on the offensive line part of it, because right after the draft, the Rams and the Browns made a trade, and the Rams acquired superstar right guard Wyatt Teller. He knew he got this home run pick of a quarterback. He had to get some offensive line to ensure that he's not going to be on his back all game. So I definitely love that move. I love this kid going here. We know Matthew Stafford's getting old. We know Stetson Bennett has like 75, throw power. So we knew he was going quarterback, and I don't think that he could have went any other way than to pick this kid. I'm pretty sure we mocked him at number 10 of taking this guy. He stays home in Southern California. I'm hoping that we see, this kid flourish out in LA. He's still got Cooper Kupp. He's got Cam Akers. He has a great team. So it's going to be really interesting to see the Styles and the Rams can now go compete with OG and them Seahawks and Andy Force and them 49ers. So hell of a pick. I think he's in a perfect spot. I don't think he could have went anywhere else with this pick. Now, that was the top 10. You see 1 through 10. I think in our mock draft, we got half of those right. So, we did pretty good right there. But now we're about to get through picks 11 through 32. Now, pick 11, this is the second guy we think was driving the tank. We never see this guy pick this high unless he traded for that pick. We got the New England Patriots in suites. I really thought he would have been in the hunt for that. Division crown season 1, the Patriots had a really good team, but man, he struggled. Now, again, I don't know if he was taken or not, but man, to be at pick 11, to have the opportunity to grab a home run player, was prime position for him. Now, with this pick, he took wide receiver Mr. Charles out of Kansas State. Now, he was the other unicorn receiver that we saw compared to Mr. Ringer that we talked about earlier. This is a big kid. He's fast. I mean, he's Calvin Johnson 2.0. But this is your homie Sweets. He's, the dev, the GOAT, anything you want to call him. Talk to me. And what do you think this receiver is going to bring to the New England Patriots and newly acquired Malik Willis at quarterback?
Well, I mean, it gives Willis another weapon to throw to. I mean, he already had Juju down there, who's 27. You got Devontae Parker, who should be retired and in somebody's nursing home. But Johnny Charles is just like Ringer, just bigger, 6'5", 228, 91 speed, hidden dev, 93 excel, 86 catch, 87 catching traffic. And the crazy thing, that like the last guy Ringer had 99 spit catch, which is just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Being 6'5", and you still got 94 jump, like that's amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and we know Tweaks, man, he will dice you up. You know what I'm saying, on the offensive side of the ball, man. So it just gives him another weapon to throw to, you know. And hopefully Malik can, you know, do better than he did in Tennessee and come down here and make some things happen. I mean, you know, he got a big arm, he's fast. So I think Tweets wanted to get away from Mac Jones. But yeah, good pick right here.
Oh, noodle arm Mac Jones, yeah.
Great pick.
I totally agree, man. I think, you know, him shoring up the offensive line, signing Tyron Smith in free agency, him going out there getting Malik Willis and then going to getting this kid, I think this kid has Hall of Fame potential written all over it. Great pick, Sweets. Let's move on to pick 12. Now, this pick right here, we talked about earlier how the best offensive lineman wasn't taken at pick 9. I think this pick right here was the best offensive lineman in this class. Who other than under 2 rated and then Washington Commanders to draft offensive guard Cam Saturday out of the University of Florida? OG, talk to me about this big ugly.
Yo, did y'all see the photo that Under posted on Twitter of this kid?
Yeah.
Yo, I thought that, you know how everybody, EA released the era talking about how EA got it, the traits and things wrong, how one person is super like a giant. I literally thought that's when he was posting it. When I looked and went and viewed this guy's chart, 6'5", 320. All right? 6'5", hold on, 320. 94 strength. This kid is a juiced up Frankenstein Michael Orr. You understand what I'm saying? Pancake. He's going to be getting hit. They're going to have to come up with a new penalty category for this kid. All right? Because he's going to be treating everybody like a nice Saturday night. Bright lights in your eyes, getting ran the fuck over. All right? This is the kid right here who already loves how to run the ground and pound the ball. He struck gold with this pick. 22 years old. Everything about this kid I love. I like. I'm telling y'all, the Commanders is about to be steamrolling over dudes with this guy, man. So this is one of, if not the best, this has to be the number 2 ranked offensive lineman in the game. And this is the pick that if you was gonna go old lineman, Eric this is the guy that you wanted, man. But solid pick, pick, man. This kid. Oh, I never thought I would say there's been a freak of nature on the offensive line at that. I can't wait to see this kid in action.
Oh, man, this was the steal of the draft. I totally agree, man. How he fell to 12 is beyond me. You know, we thought he was top 10 for sure. I'm shocked he fell this far. Great pick under. Now, let's move to pick 13. Now, this was the first of the 2 first-round picks Taz and the Cincinnati Bengals had. Taz, talk to me about your draft pick, Mr. Carlos Nelson, the defensive tackle out of Penn State.
Well, after negotiations fell through and we lost DJ Reader in the offseason to free agency, you know, this was a position that we had to address. And we had, you know, pick 13 as it was. But, you know, Mike Wharton went off the board early. He was our number 1, but Carlos was 1B. If Mike Wharton was 1A, Carlos was 1B. And I'm so happy with the pick. You know, he's coming in 22 years old, 6'2", 309, 91 strength with 84 power moves. You know, we are so very happy with him. He got 74 agility, 83 hit power. I mean, just he is a monster. He is going to be a leader on this defensive line for years to come. The entire cycle, we are keeping Carlos.
Man, he was a perfect pick. Like you said, you missed out on a couple of guys. You had to let him go for, you know, cap reasons, but I mean, you hit a home run pick at, you know, pick 13. Another pick where Eric Yost just said, hey, let me double down on defensive line and go get this kid. So great pick, man. Let's get to pick 14, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, we know Coach didn't make the draft, so this pick was simmed, you know, but he set his draft board, and I think he got a great pick and they took linebacker Dominic Irving out of Vanderbilt. Buzz, you love linebackers, man. What's this kid gonna look like, Indy?
Dominic Irvin, man, out of Vanderbilt. Shoot, I think the last guy from Vanderbilt was, I can't remember the last. Was it did Cunningham come from Vanderbilt?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Zach Cunningham. So Zach Cunningham came from Vanderbilt. So he's gonna come in and fit in with Indy really well, coming in at 6'5", 260. So I'm hoping he's running the 3-4 out there, because I can't imagine this guy running around in a 4-3 being 6'5", 260. So
Right.
outside linebacker in a 3-4 or DN will be his greatest asset. 86 speed, 79 finesse move, great block shed, 90 acceleration. So he's fast, and he can make up ground really quick. I like the kid, man. Then you pair him up with some veterans there with the rookie they had from last year, 2 years ago. And I know I'm about to mess his name up. Ulubi.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the
sounds
veteran.
good to me.
Yeah. Then you got Shaquille Leonard there, man. So I love the pick, man. I love the pick. Dominique Irvin will be really well down there in Indy and taken care of.
Yeah, they definitely needed to go defense. I think it was a great pick. I think he set his draft board, and I'm pretty sure he got the guy he wanted. But let's keep it moving, man. Let's go to pick 15. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers take quarterback Juan Tapp out of Lamar Jackson University. Shout out to Louisville. OG. Tell me about this kid right here, man. He looks like a poor man's version of Lamar Jackson. I was shocked he went quarterback, but man, I think he found somebody. So talk to us about him.
Man, first of all, that swag. Since we talking swag, this kid looked like, exactly what you said, a broke, non-paid Lamar Jackson. And he looks confused, but let's talk about the pick, man. I feel like he's just a guy, just a guy. Nothing jumps off the chart. 90 throw power, 75, deep accuracy, 74. But he's somebody I feel like, with Mike Evans still being there, Godwin, he can kind of be groomed into the position. He still got big hitter just in case this kid, don't show up. I feel like he's definitely gonna start him. But my thing is, I don't see him. Well, what he's doing, let me double back. Let's put it this way. Being so that he has 6 games against bottom tier division, I feel like the same thing I said about Nuke earlier with the cornerback. This is a guy who is going to have opportunity to eat. Now, once he go up against that mid-tier, top tier, that's where he's going to be able to put the measuring stick out if this is his guy for the remainder of the cycle, or if this guy will be out of Tampa in a season or two. But there's nothing really that jumps off the chart. But I feel like there's definitely somebody that he can build around if he takes his time with the kid. Like I said, he still got Mike Evans, still got Chris Godwin, still got a couple other weapons out there. I think he got Gabe still out there. So it's no rush. The kid got the weapons there. Let's see what you gonna do with it. Never quit. Cause that kid gonna be quitting in Tampa
Man, I think the one thing that pops out in the kid, he's got 89 speed, 89 excel. So we'll see if Never Quit can make him something, man. But let's keep it trucking. We're going to go back to Cincinnati at pick 16. Not only did they take a DT with their first round pick, they went back and took another DT with their second first round pick in Mitch Roten out of Stanford. Taz, real quick, talk to me about the second DT you took.
Well, in a couple of the early mocks, we were looking at defensive end, the coldest, and his name alone, had a spot in our heart to make the squad. But we really were torn between going D-line, cornerback, or O-line. After playing against Under, I really wish I had pulled the trigger on the O-line. But at the same time, again, defense helps win championships. And so we doubled down on D-line, and we went with Mitch. And I'm glad we did. Pairing him up with Carlos, they're going to be just a duo that's going to wreak havoc here in the future.
Totally agree, man. You can't go wrong with getting big boys up front. I think it was a great pick. But let's keep it moving, man. We're going to pick 17. This was another sim pick. Centaur and them LA Chargers. You know, the guy he picked, I think he slid down the draft board just because of his name. I don't know about y'all, but I cannot draft somebody with the last name Cheeks. Like, I just couldn't convince myself to do it. And they took Luke Cheeks, the defensive end out of West Virginia. Buzz, real quick, man. What?
Call somebody else. Call somebody else. Nah,
OG, talk to me about Luke Cheeks, man.
I think Luke Cheeks. Man, first of all,
who named him that, man?
I don't know where he got his name from.
It's his daddy name.
Yeah, but good night. Like, okay, well, hey, I'm gonna call him Luke. You know what I'm saying? So Luke out of West Virginia, man. He's 23, so he's a little older rookie. I'd say next year he's gonna be 24. But 6'4", 265, man, out of West Virginia. Good power move. 83 speed. He's very strong. Good block shedding. So, and he's black. He is dark as hell. Yeah. Hey, as long as y'all ain't playing with the lights off, y'all gonna be able to see him. But hey, man,
he's dark and his last name Cheeks, man.
Yeah.
What a combo.
I think this is a good pick for Centaur, man. Coming in at the left end spot. Yeah, I mean he'll get some help from Bosa if he's still there. I think Khalil Mack is still there. So yeah, he got some veteran presence, man, that can kind of lead him the way and allow him to be a force on the defensive line. Yeah, great pick.
That talks about Luke Cheeks going to the Chargers, man. Hopefully he ain't Cheeks in the Dynasty. We'll see what Centaur could do with them. On to pick 18, the Philadelphia Eagles. How in the hell the Eagles were picking at 18 and not 28 or higher than that is beyond me, man. But Bino and the Philadelphia Eagles took linebacker Alton Terry out of Iowa. OG, this is your hometown squad, man. What do you think about him taking a linebacker with the team he has?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Okay. First of all, Bino, man, you let me down, brother. You let me down. I got on the show. I put my name on. I stamped you, man. I said you was gonna be winning the Vanderbilt. I said you were SG, man. And I don't know what the hell happened in Philadelphia. I just don't. I don't know. But that's the first question mark that you had up on me. Then you go linebacker, and brother. If we not loaded at any position in Philadelphia, I mean, like you trade Dean, okay, and then you go out and you go trade. I don't know what it is, but bro, there's a guy in Philadelphia that we love. That's dear to our heart. His name is Howie. You need to go study my man formula because I don't know what you are doing with this Philadelphia Eagles team, man. I feel like with the agent,
Philly cheesesteaks.
Too much. Maybe you had Eskimo was too much. Maybe you had Geno's. I don't know. But you need to stop hanging out in them spots, man. Stop it. But I feel like Bino went wrong with this pick. Okay. There's a guy in this draft, man, that we ain't get to yet. But when his name come up, y'all gonna hear me. Now, I don't know who we talking about. Y'all gonna hear me with a loud scream in the background because I feel like Bino with this pick should have definitely went O-line. I'm just saying. He lost two hitters this year, and he already knew there was a chance that them guys was gonna be retired and was up there in age. So I feel like this pick right here was confusing to me. You got rid of Dean, who was young, who showed that he can play the position. You go out and trade him, bring in some help, but then you go back and you draft another linebacker. I'm lost on this pick, man. If it be my Philadelphia Eagles, I'm even more super lost. So I don't know what's going on in Philly. Put him on the back of a milk carton. Somebody go find him.
I was shocked too, man. This was a surprise pick for me, especially picking that high. You know, but it's Bino logic, man. So none of us will understand. But let's keep it moving, man. Let's go to pick 19, the Miami Dolphins and tight work. Now he moved up to this pick. He traded his cornerback, Cam Smith, made some other moves in order to move up from where he was picking before. So he's picking at 19. He takes one of the big uglies in the draft, Alonzo Harmon, the right tackle at a TCU. We know tight work is just like under 2 rated. They go pick those big, ugly-looking mother truckers that go up there and block, man. Taz, what do you think about the right tackle?
Man, he got himself a Hulk. 6'5", 314. My man is rocking the cowboy collar, neck collar, boy, bald-headed, just a big old monster. 88 strength, 78 run block right now as a rookie. 80 lead block, 82 impact. And the kid is smart. He got 77 awareness. He's picking up that playbook very quickly. You know, you jump down, look at his speed. He can move. He's very agile. It's solid pick. Great pick here. He's gonna be opening the holes. He's gonna be moving the crowd. Great pick.
I think his helmet a little too tight because that on the forehead is real dark right there. So it's
you see my man head, boy.
He's struggling, man.
It's pressure right there. Get that man a new helmet tight. God, no.
I mean, we knew the Dolphins were going to have to go offensive line. They didn't have cap space to keep some of the guys they had. So great pick by tight work. We always know he's going to go O-line early, so one hell of a pick. All right, man, pick 20. The Minnesota Vikings take the sliding quarterback in this draft, a top 5 talent in Nick Harden out of Kansas State. Now, we were worried about this kid might, have to leave the green room, go home to see mom and dad. We weren't sure if he was going to get picked. He got passed by a lot of teams. So, Buzz, it's our division mate. We know, this user likes to get, kind of tap dance happy in the backfield with his dropbacks. Do you think Nick Harden is going to be that guy to replace Kirk Cousins in Minnesota?
I mean, at this point, he has to. I mean, he has Sam Darnold. He gave Sam Darnold a pretty nice contract, but he's 27. So, and Cousins is gone. So Nick Harden in K-State has to be the guy. My only problem is, he's 22, but he looks 45. You know what I'm saying? He has gray hair, gets the stubbles on his face, and I mean, he's pretty average. You know what I'm saying? We talked earlier about the guy that the Bucks got, who OG said was a Jag. I think this is Jag beat. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if I see him go down that road next draft and possibly get another quarterback. But Nick Harden can hold him down.
Totally agree, man. I think it was an okay pick. It wasn't a horrible pick, just based off of need. Some people draft because of need, other people draft of value. I think this was a need pick. Yeah. I don't think he was that dude. It was an all right pick, but we'll probably see him on a violation post this season of the rookie quarterback, dropping back too far. But let's keep it moving, man. I know this is the pick that OG wanted to talk about. The Las Vegas Raiders take middle linebacker Ben Ellerbe out of West Virginia. I know this was a draft crush of yours, man. Let Bino have it and talk about this Raiders linebacker.
Bino, let me talk to you for a second. Put the mic close to your ear, man. If you was gonna go linebacker, this is the guy, not that other guy. He got 89 speed, 91 acceleration, but guess what this kid is packing? A motherfucking punch. 85 hit power. That means, this kid is coming with no sense. He's young. He want to bang. He gonna get up, knock your helmet off, and then knock his helmet off and get up with a smile on his face. You understand what I'm saying? So, Bino, this is the pick right here. If you was gonna go linebacker, this is the guy that you wanted to go. And Omatic struck gold. Change the number though, please. Take them old sweat wristbands off the kid. He's a young fella playing in 2023. He ain't back in 1975 and 76. But
looks like Solomon Kane dressed that dude, man.
Exactly. I was just waiting for the neck brace with just change his gear up a little bit. But this is a guy who brings that nasty, gritty mentality out there in Oakland with the eye patch logo, but in Vegas. But this is that guy, man, who's gonna bring that grit, that grind. Look at this picture, man. If you just go on the game, look at the guy's picture. Like he posing for a mugshot. You gotta check his background, dude. You gotta see if this guy got some charges, man. But this is the guy right here. He's the guy.
Yeah, I think Bino definitely fumbled the bag on that one, man. Man, Bino definitely messed up. I think he took the wrong linebacker. But a hell of a pick at pick 21, man. Hopefully he'll succeed in Las Vegas. But let's keep it moving, fellas. We got pick 22, the Detroit Lions. The NFC North Division champ right there. They take cornerback Sharif Ramsey out of Georgia Tech. Real quick, Taz, what do you think about this young corner that they took out of Georgia Tech?
Man, solid pick. He is joining this young Lions team and they are just nasty. He's joining. Got Kendall Fuller out there, Cam Sutton, Will Harris, Dalton Britton, who is another rookie in this class. Just solid pick. I had the Lions past 2 cycles. I like what he did with this pick. Kid's gonna be good.
Yeah, most definitely, man. They had some aging cornerbacks there in Detroit. He had to go out there and bring some youth to that secondary. I think he had a great pick right there. I think he's gonna slide in and start there in Detroit off week 1. So definitely a great pick. Now we go to pick 23 in Jacksonville. Another corner comes off the board. I know this pick was Sim. Bruce was playing it, I think he was going to the Philadelphia game or something like that. He couldn't make the draft, but I think he got the guy he wanted. They took Shelton Connor, the cornerback out of East Carolina. Buzz, what you think of this corner?
Man, for this late, this is a great pick. 5'10", 200 pound, 22 out of East Carolina, man. Shelton Connor comes in with 90 speed.
Hey, can y'all make sure y'all turn the alarm on?
Yeah.
Turn the alarm on.
He comes in with 80 zone, man, which is kind of high. 94 excel, 91 agility. I think this is a great pick for the Jags. You team him up with Tyson Campbell, Shaquille Griffin. Great pick, man. I think they'll help that secondary really, really, really well.
Yeah, the Jags definitely need to go, cornerback. They got torched in the playoffs by the Chiefs and vitamin. So I definitely think that this was a great pick. Good pick for Bruce, man. Let's keep it moving. At pick 24, the New York Jets. We all know Aaron Rodgers retired. We all know Zach Wilson rather go chase Cougars than play football. So the Jets, another sim pick because he was out of town, but they take Ian Wagner, the quarterback, out of Cal. OG. He's even got number 8 like Rodgers did New York, man. Do you think this kid can come in here day one and, get the Jets to where they were at last season by being 14-3?
Yes, he struck. Some guys got this one right. This league, you're getting a quarterback young, 93 throwing power, 79 deep accuracy, 78 mid act, 88 short. Come on, man. If there was any number that this guy could have gotten out of the gate, 8 fits him fine. Now we all know how the New York fans are out there in New York. They're somewhat worse than my Philadelphia fans, but this guy's gonna know by mid-season if New York is gonna accept him or not. But he comes into a system with weapons across the board. With Hardman, you got Wilson, you got the double-loaded backfield with Cook, and you still have Breece Hall, solid young O-line. This kid couldn't have been drafted to a more well-put organization that has some equipped with the keys to drive that nice Bentley down the road smooth, man. This kid's gonna be good. Definitely gonna be good.
Yeah, the sim guys definitely hooked AJ up with a great quarterback, man. I mean, a home run pick. He comes in from day one being the starter in New York. I definitely think they don't skip a beat and they keep on trucking and see if they can repeat as division champs. So let's go to pick 25. JB and them Houston Texans take Shaquem Gates, tight end, a first-round tight end, which is kind of rare, out of the University of Washington. Taz, this is your homie JB. Do you think this was a good pick this late in the first round for him to go out there and get a tight end when other players were on the board?
Oh, actually, I think this is a pretty solid pick for JB. This Texans team is pretty young. You know, he got second-year QB out of the Ohio State, CJ Stroud. But, you know, you got to put weapons around CJ. And this was, I believe, the number one tight end in the class. And shit, coming in, 22 years old, 76 overall. He's 6'6", 241. He has 84 speed with 88 excel. I mean, it's a good pick, good solid pick. He's a big weapon that is going to fit in nicely down there in Houston.
Yeah, man, JB's notorious for picking tight ends. I'm kind of shocked he went tight end right now, you know, just based off of other players that were still on the board. But, man, when you pick a tight end that looks like this kid right here, man, you really can't go wrong. So, you know, JB likes to throw the tight end, give CJ Stroud another weapon. Great pick, JB, man. So, but before we get to this next pick, there's a second award that we pass out on this show. And y'all know what time it is. New, go ahead and roll that
Breaking
tape.
news. Today, unpredictable events have occurred across the globe. Who has come to save the day for humanity? Who is this mysterious mighty hero?
Stretch Armstrong.
Your stretchable superhero. Stretch him 4 times his size. He becomes bigger than a building. Tie him into a knot. He always goes back to his original shape. Stretch him again and again. Stretch Armstrong. The return only from character.
Stretch Armstrong.
All right, fellas. The Stretch Armstrong Award this season goes to OG and them Seahawks at pick 27, where they take DT Tommy Armstrong at a TCU.
How the fuck we got to play with the Stretch Armstrong with the fucking Armstrong? Like, what? Come on, man. For real, though? Like, for real? Listen.
Couldn't have planned that better, man.
Listen. When I tell you, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, the kid's still on the team only because our cap is high. And he's a rookie. I would literally I was really about to take a penalty hit just for looking at this kid. But the picks after this, I don't even understand how EA got this pick wrong. Like, I literally set the draft board up with one person at the top, and to see that this guy went after this guy. Oh my God, it's mind-boggling to me. But this will ever be a forever DML highlight. A player, Stretch Armstrong Award goes to the Seattle Seahawks, who drafted Tommy Armstrong. It needs to say more. 65. Nothing. It's nothing we like about the kid. We hate the University of TCU just because of this kid. Like this. How the hell you a DT with 55 block shedding? What did you shed? You shed your damn attributes, man.
I think your corners got higher block shed than that, man.
I think, man,
Wow.
Geno Smith could get to the quarterback faster than this kid. 86 strength. Oh my God. I don't even know how he made it to the league. You know, I'm about to go hit the combine. Yeah, but it's nothing. It was nothing like about this kid. We gotta waste no time. We can move on to the next pick.
All right, man. On to pick 28. The Dallas Cowboys take right tackle at Auburn, Kenny Poole. Now, you know, the Cowboys lost Tyron Smith. They let him walk. You know, they're hard up against the cap too. So O-line was a need. They could have went some other directions, but Taz, tell me why that Kenny Poole was the perfect fit for hot tubbing in Dallas Cowboys.
He fits what they need. He fits what they do. You know, big kid, 6'4", 315, 22 years old, out of Auburn, coming in with 81 pass block right now. He has good finesse, good power. Solid pick. He's a Cowboy.
He looks like a Cowboys offensive lineman. You know, they always tend to take the linemen late in the draft like that, you know, with Zach Martin and them boys, man. So I definitely think he slides in, starts from day one at right tackle. You can never go wrong this late in the draft taking offensive line in a stacked offensive line class. So, yeah, I agree, man. This was a great pick by Hot Tub. Moving on to pick 29. This is going to be another OG favorite right here. The Kansas City Chiefs. You know, Vitamin takes wide receiver Sam Brackens out of Lamar Jackson University, Louisville, man. Talk to us about this speed demon.
This is the guy that they were supposed to be in Seattle.
Man, you got like 5 receivers. You don't even need this dude.
This is I knew when I was not making the draft, we put one guy at the top of the board. The top of the draft board, and I don't know what the Cornstrong. This is the guy who was supposed to be in Seattle, man.
Wow.
This dude, listen, y'all gave Patrick Mahomes white lightning at the wide receiver position. This dude is going to be dangerous once he come off an injury, of course, because you blow his weight, get hurt. But this kid, man, he's solid. To drop this late, maybe we got some draft gurus in the DML who kind of knew what was going to go on with this kid. But this is the kid outside of the 1976 mullet style hairstyle. This is the guy, man. He look a little sick in his picture. Might gotta give you some iron or something. But this is the kid that's going to be a deadly weapon with Patrick Mahomes all cycle, man. But this Vitamin, just send me my way, man. Please, man. The draft got it wrong. You supposed to get Armstrong, not me. Okay? Just send him my way, man.
Just imagine that would have been your pick, man. Like, that would have been a hell of a pick compared to that Stretch Armstrong you just received, man. I mean, this kid's 21, got 94 speed. I mean, you couldn't have made a better pick this late in the draft, especially when you guys, you know, aging receiver like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Travis Kelce. They needed some youth out there, man, and man, what a hell of a pick by, you know, Vitamin and the Chiefs. But let's go, man, to pick 30. This was my team, the Green Bay Packers. You know, we picked, 30. I was trying to pick 32, but I can't beat those damn San Francisco 49ers for whatever reason, man. But at pick 30, we went Chris McCutcheon, the left guard of Maryland. This kid right here, we knew we needed O-line. We got some aging offensive linemen in David Bakhtiari. I got an aging right tackle in, Elton Jenkins. We pretty much, changed our whole interior offensive line. I mean, I sent Taz 2 of them. I knew, hey, I traded my center, traded my guard. It was going to be a lot of changes. And this kid right here, man, was, my top rated guard on the draft. How he fell all the way to pick 30 was shocking to me. I was super happy to see him there. I was not hesitant at all to pull that trigger. The kid's got 89 strength, 87 impact block. I mean, he's got all the tools to be a great left guard. He's going to start from day one, and he's hitting dev. You can never go wrong on, picking an offensive lineman. This late in the draft, you got to get the value picks, man. And I think 100%, this guy is a value pick. I think he's going to be a really good player over the cycle. Hopefully he'll pave the way, for Derrick Henry. I got at a preseason free agency and the rookie that I drafted. I'm hoping that this guy, open up the lanes for them guys. And so, we'll see how it goes, man. But I'm definitely pleased with the pick. I think he was a perfect player for what we do. So, let's hit these last 2 picks, fellas. Pick 31, the Super Bowl runner-up, Andy Force and the San Francisco 49ers. Take another lineman, right tackle, Terrell Faulkner out of Washington. Taz, another big ugly comes off the board late. It was another need. The Niners lost some linemen the last couple of years. What do you think about this kid at pick 31?
Big, solid right tackle. This was a really deep right tackle draft. And, this late to find this value, hey, great pick.
Oh, man, he's a dog at 6'6", 329, 93 strength, and he's 21. I mean, there was 2 offensive tackles that came out of University of Washington's draft. So they had bookend tackles that, declared for the draft. And, what a home run hit, man. I hate when I see losers like this get great picks like this. I wish he would have got the Stretch Armstrong Award and picked that DT and not OG. But, man, great pick, Andy Forrest. Let's get to the Super Bowl champions at pick 32 with the Baltimore Ravens and Vandy Chap. Shout out to Vandy, man. He's quiet. He came in here last cycle with the Pittsburgh Steelers, did his thing, was really good all last cycle. He got his team with the Ravens now, and, man, he lit it up last season, man. He came in there and played sound offense. He played phenomenal defense, and, he was – you know him for playing twice a year, but, I mean, look at it. He played really good, and, he had the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, and, man, he finished it off with an impressive win on Andy Forrest. So there's not really too many needs on a Super Bowl championship team, but they went cornerback Tevin Gatewood out of Florida. OG, this kid's got 94 speed, and you get a corner like this at pick 32. That's not only a great value, but a need. What'd you think of this pick going to Vandy?
Pick is solid, but this is another pick where, he's supposed to be in Seattle, man.
You only had 1 first-round pick.
Look, he's supposed to be in Seattle, man. But Vandy, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. He's one of the guys. This is a solid pick for him. He's getting a piece to plug into an already fixed puzzle, because the way that this guy puts together his scheme on the defensive side of the ball, he tricks you when things are open. Like, this is a user who you really have to play a solid, sharp game, whether it's on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively, because this guy keeps you guessing all game. So like I said, he gets a solid piece to plug into an already well-fit puzzle. I'm definitely looking to see this guy probably potentially the AFC defensive rookie of the year, or potentially the runner-up. But he's definitely going to make some noise, and this is a solid pick this late in the draft, man. But he's supposed to be in Seattle. So, Vandy, just do me a favor. After this season, come next offseason, just send him where he belongs, man. Seattle. Appreciate you, man.
OG going to be in everybody's DMs for these rookies, man.
Tight.
Well, fellas, that was pick 1 through 32. Real quick, after we've looked at every single team, every single pick, in this first round, do you think there are going to be any players that are going to be able to be built up and obtain that heralded 99 overall by the end of this cycle? I know for me personally, I think it's going to be the wide receiver Charles that Sweets 99 took. I think he's going to build that dude up, and he's just going to become a monster. I think he has Hall of Fame potential. Definitely, I think he can get the 99 overall. Do you guys have anybody on this list that you think that could potentially get to that point?
I got to go CB. I'm going to say the cornerback that Nuke took, just off of the fact of his division mates and how they're going to give this guy at least, I say, range between 8 to 10. Let's say that between an 8 to 12 INT season after season after season. So I find this kid is definitely going to be built up very fast, just off of the fact of who his division mates are, man. I'm keeping a close eye on that kid, man.
So now Noop's got 2 things he's got to take care of. He got to take care of the kid's swag, and he's got the pressure on getting that guy to 99. Yo, Taz, you got a pick in here that you think that can get to that point.
It's funny. I have to second what OG just said. Out of all these rookies, the one I think has the best chance to making it to 99 is probably going to be that corner that Nuke got. That kid is balanced across the board. He's big. He's fast. And like OG said, the division that he plays in is going to have a lot of opportunity. So, Nuke, it's on you, baby. You got the player. Let's see if you can get him into the Hall of Fame.
Man, all the pressure's on him now, man. No excuses. Well, everybody, man, This was picks 1 through 32, the season 1 draft for Madden 24. I want to give a shout out to the commish for getting us together, man, putting out this show, man. He always does one hell of a job on putting out these graphics and doing the recordings, man, giving me the shot to come out here and host the show, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to my boys, the Buzz, Taz, and OG for coming and hanging out with me and dropping the knowledge on each one of these players. Guys, I just want to say, keep going, the pace that we're going. The league's going really good right now. I think we're on going back to the old way of doing things in the Dynasty. So again, man, watch the video, give us a like, drop your comments. Do you think we got something right? Do you think we got something wrong? Do you agree with our Stretch Armstrong? Do you agree with our big dummy? Let us know, man. But on behalf of the DML Network, we out.